Hello everyone, 1 a.m. in the morning here. I just finished watching the newest horror film, Weapons. The film really struck me to want to talk about it. Before viewing the film, I was fascinated by the marketing. Now, before I get into the marketing, Weapons is the newest horror film from the director of Barbarian that came out a few years ago. I heard interesting things about that film, but never really watched it. I know some people loved it and some did not. I really didn't know what exactly to expect from this new film, however. I will say, this film kind of exploded and became very anticipated by many people for a few reasons. One was, as I said, its marketing. This film is about a classroom of kids who go missing, except for one, and people want answers over the mystery. The film started its marketing by having small clips of CCTV footage of the kids running. The footage looked eerie and it intrigued me and many others alike. And then more trailers came out, and word of mouth and conversations online just propelled this film. I strongly feel like this is one of the biggest horror films of the year for that reason. It had some solid advertising. And so, in my IMAX theater, I'm seated for the experience, and overall, I did enjoy my time quite a bit. What really kept my attention and engagement throughout the film was definitely its solid direction, storytelling, and editing. Now, in the first half of the film, I will say I was not impressed. I feel like the film sets up its ideas very quickly and with a considerable amount of uninteresting exposition. In the beginning of the movie, it was plagued with shallow tension and just loud jump scares that, while effective I guess, led to nothing and hindered the experience of scenes for me. Now what I mean is, one scene in particular, with Josh Brolin's character, he was having an emotional moment that was abruptly stopped for the sake of a jump scare, and I felt like the scene was actually doing something and then it was just stopped short for the sake of a cheap thrill. Also, the dialogue at some points were trying to be more comical, and sometimes it felt a little out of tone for the movie, while other times it did work well. Also, some characters were just kind of dumb. With that in mind, the film is not as profound or meaningful as it thinks it is. Like, it's trying to say something with its themes and ideas, but it throws it all away for the sake of popcorn fun. I will say the film is entertaining regardless. It wasn't until the film really started revealing its plot and unfolding that I really got invested. Its storytelling is actually really ambitious with a lot of moving parts and characters. The film follows different characters' perspectives throughout, and it was very interesting to view as more and more information is revealed. Is the storytelling consistent, like editing wise? I wouldn't say so, but I enjoyed the way the information was told nonetheless. I also really liked the utilizing of the film's score. I also really liked the editing in general as well. There's many scenes where the movement of the camera as well as the utilizing of the film's score just all came together to make a satisfying moment. All that really does come down to the direction, which I was very impressed by. The directing was actually superb within the film. There were many fantastic shots and camera work throughout that was just so much fun to watch. Not only the scenes, but the framing and composition of the scenes. The lighting and colors and shadows all looked very beautiful. It all looked very professional. Scenes that come to mind were when a cop was chasing a person. There were so many excellent decisions and choices that made the film more entertaining for me. As the film concluded, I will say it ends kind of quickly, but I was left quite satisfied with my experience. It said and showed what it wanted to say, and then it just ends. Overall, the film does have problems for sure with the writing and whatnot, but I still feel quite positive about my time spent. At the end of the day, the film was quite ambitious and original, and to be honest, I can see this film becoming a cult classic within the next 20 years. The ideas the film presents is very memorable and kind of iconic already. Once the movie ended, people were running out of the theater like how the kids were running in the movie. I absolutely love to see horror films, especially the ones handled with care from the direction. Get popular and actually have an audience attend to see it. I went to an 11 p.m. showing and the audience was kind of full. It was a fun time that I would see myself rewatching at some point in the future. For now, I'm giving this a strong 6 out of 10. Thank you for watching, and I hope you all enjoyed. See you next time, bye!